the Australian Open final. Look at that. And if you're listening on podcast, thank you as well. But you're missing two great pictures of Carlos Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic. Okay, Djokovic, he's playing his tennis racket as a violin. Alcaraz doing the patented fist bump. They're both in green. I'm not sure if you have to wear green down there at the Australian Open, but they wear green a lot, folks. They wear green a lot. This has been an incredible Australian Open. Now, mainly because of the semifinals, the first 4 rounds or whatever, 5 rounds, okay. But those semifinals, woo, baby, how about those semifinals? Okay, when I was actually writing my notes for this, I wrote Alcaraz versus Sinner. I was like, yeah, that's what it was. No, I watched Djokovic versus Sinner. It's Djokovic. It is Djokovic versus Alcaraz. Sinner, get out of here, you cheater. Okay, all right, I'll calm down a little bit. Maybe he's not a cheater. Maybe he is. He is. It's Djokovic. It's Alcaraz. This is epic. Okay, those semifinal games, you had Alcaraz. He was up 2-0. It looked like it was going to be straight sets victory for him to waltz right into the final. And then here comes Zverev. Boom, wins the third, wins the fourth. And then they get into the 5th set. Alcaraz has to win the final 4 games to get into this final. And he does it because he's a stud at 22 years old. Unreal tennis. The man was cramping. Some people thought maybe he was faking the cramps to get Zverev to lighten up a little bit. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I don't believe it's true, but some people were floating that theory out there. Doesn't make any sense to me, but some people were thinking that. It doesn't matter. He's in the final. And then you had Djokovic go toe-to-toe with Sinner on hard court. The guy that's supposed to replace Djokovic, he took him down to the wire. He took him to the 5th set, and he beat him. And he beat him. Unreal stuff from the GOAT and the baby GOAT right here in Carlos Alcaraz. Let's talk about Alcaraz here for a second. He's 22 years old. 22. I looked it up just to make sure. And it's true. He's 22. This man is 22 years old. I can't believe it still. It's baffling my mind that he's 22. And he's got 6 majors. He's got 6 Grand Slams. He's 6-1 in the finals. 6-1 in the finals. And it's 6-2 if you count the Olympic final as a thing, but it's a 3-set, whatever. He could have won that as well. Funny enough, it was against Djokovic. Okay, this is his first Australian Open final. He's never been here. This is a place it's uncharted territory for the 22-year-old. Man, he's deep into his career now at 22, and he's never been here. He's got 2 at Roland Garros. He's got 2 at Wimbledon. He's got 2 U.S. Open. But he's never even been to the Australian Open final until today. Here we go for Alcaraz. Look, I love it when he goes sleeveless. I think it frees him up. I'm not sure if that's tennis science. I'm not sure what it is, but I think he plays better when he goes tank top, okay? So if Alcaraz goes out there in the tank top, we're in trouble for Djokovic fans, okay? If you're a Djokovic fan, you're in trouble because Alcaraz in sleeveless, I'm not sure. I've looked up the statistics. I probably should have, but I think he's undefeated when he's sleeveless. I think he's undefeated when he is sleeveless. I cannot wait for this. Djokovic, I was astonished when I saw this. He's played in 20 Australian Opens. 20 Australian Opens, not including this year. He's won 10 of them. He's a 50% hit rate at the Australian Open. Not just in matches, but the entire tournament. 50% of the time, this man wins the tournament. 50%. He can get over the 50% threshold if he were to win this year. Unreal stuff from Djokovic if he were to win. We know it. He's got 24 Grand Slams. If he wins this, it gets to 25, extends his lead, which would be awesome. I want him to get to 30. Get to a record that will never be broken. But Alcaraz at 22, he's got 15 years younger than Djokovic over here. He may get there. If he wins this, he's at 7. He's a quarter of the way there. At 24, really a third of the way, in between a third and a quarter. He's almost there. He's only at 22. He's almost there. He's not at 22. Not almost there. It's going to be hard to do. But I want Djokovic to get to 30. That's what I'm cheering for. And then I want Alcaraz to get to 35. I want Sinner to get to 30. Not really. But Djokovic, 24-13 Grand Slam finals, 10 of them Australian Opens. We already know that. 50% hit rate. He just beat Sinner when he was plus 800. Plus 800, folks. How do you do that? How do you do that? I'm not even sure what he is against Alcaraz right now in the odds. I would think he's plus 4, 5, somewhere around there. Let's see if I can find this real quick. The match against Sinner, it continues to blow my mind. But I do believe the rest in the previous 2 rounds, where he got the walkover, and then he had, the pass with the guy getting injured. So that did help. I think it made his legs last longer. So we'll see if that factors into this game against ALCARAZ here in the finals, and I think it will. But we gotta wait. We gotta wait to find out. So the matchup. Look, they've played 9 times, 5-4. Djokovic is actually leading the series, which I thought was kind of crazy. I didn't think that was true. But in Grand Slams, it's 3-2 ALCARAZ, okay? A couple of those were in the finals. He beats them. One in Wimbledon, I believe the other in the U.S. Open. So ALCARAZ maybe has his number in the Grand Slams, but it's 3-2. It's not like it's 4-1 or 5-1 or something crazy. So they're pretty evenly matched. And this is Djokovic's best place on earth, the Australian Open. This is his territory. ALCARAZ has never been here. Can he beat him? Can he beat him on his own turf? I'm not sure. And yes, I'm calling Djokovic turf Australia, even though he's Serbian. I don't care. It's his turf. 10 out of 20? Yeah, it's his. He owns that place, okay? Look, again, those 2 rounds where Djokovic had the walkover and the injury where he could just waltz right on by when he was probably going to lose, I think that factors in. He's got more rest than ALCARAZ does here. He has more rest than ALCARAZ does in this moment. But I think we get a classic. I think we get a 5-setter. And I think Carlos Alcaraz gets his first Australian Open. He gets to 7. He gets 3 closer to that 10 mark in the Grand Slam category. It would get him to 7. Get him it would complete all 4 Grand Slams. Unreal stuff from Alcaraz. We're going to witness history here in the United States, wherever you are watching around the world. Congrats to Carlos Alcaraz on winning this thing. I believe he does it. I believe we get a classic. But it would not shock me if Djokovic wins this, because that's his territory. That's his place. Alcaraz has never been there. But nonetheless, give me Carlos Alcaraz, okay?